Hey everybody, it's Trent Erickson. It is great to see you today. Hope you are doing well. I don't know if you know this, but I just joined the New Day board a couple of months ago. Kim and I have been coming to New Day for about 6 years and was feeling like it was finally time for me to engage and help advance the ministry of everything that's going on at New Day. So I'm super excited about this position. I know if you're like I was, that Easter was such an uplifting time for a host of reasons, but most especially just to see so many New Day faces back together in the same place. We were at the second service, but we saw people leaving from the first service. And man, how awesome to just know that though we haven't been able to be together much in the last 12 or 14 months, we are still there and we are still New Day and we care passionately about each other and more importantly, passionately about our love for Christ. So I know that there's a lot going on, but if you're like me, sometimes it's easy to forget kind of where things stand as we go about our daily lives with COVID all around us. So I am flipping the script today and I'm going to interview Pastor Jeff to ask him about kind of where things are on his radar and kind of, I'll start off with a super easy, broad question. Jeff, what's happening at New Day these days?
A lot of really great things are happening at New Day in spite of the fact that you maybe don't see everybody all together that often. We've been having just a great time in the services we've been doing down at the Hub. We've been having good prayer sessions on Sunday mornings and Wednesday nights. More prayer has been happening together in groups during COVID than any time in New Day's history. Our DNA groups are going strong. We have our middle school and high school groups have started meeting in person over at Journey Church again during the week. Our staff and board are actively working on future plans for New Day. And we are bringing on 3 or 4 new board members in the next couple of months. So there's a lot of new leadership that's excited to be engaged, and so we're looking forward to that. As far as us meeting together in person again, our goal as a team, as we've talked about it in staff, is to really see us back in weekly large group gatherings by this fall somewhere. We're not sure where that will be yet, but that's our hope, is that we'll see more of those Easter type gatherings happening on a weekly basis by fall.
Awesome. And why wait that long?
Yeah, that's a really excellent question. And I know that that's probably what many people are wondering. Being at this point, it's almost like we are replanting New Day as a church. And when we started New Day the first time around, we spent a year before we had public gatherings meeting together as a team and really hammering out our vision and values and looking at how we were going to go about doing church. The challenge right now is that we haven't really even been able to meet together as a team to do our planning because not everybody's comfortable yet being back together in person. So it's made that team building phase a little more challenging. And, prior to the pandemic, New Day was at a spot where we needed some significant structural changes to support weekly services because a lot of our team for setup and for children's ministry were no longer in place. And so we were having to cobble things together just to get through, just to maintain our weekly ministry. And so getting that structure in place is our goal over these next few months, so that we can not only start having services regularly again, but we can actually sustain that moving forward. So I know it feels like a long time out there, but really a lot is happening behind the scenes to try to get that in place.
Totally. And that's awesome. I think, we would all love it, but certainly it takes time and it takes mindful kind of thought and prayer, right?
Yeah. And the other thing, honestly, is really we've been restricted from gathering in a large group. So, King County is just now at 50% of occupancy of a room. So we have to have twice as big of a space that we may need come fall for 100% of our group size. So figuring out what the restrictions are from the state and how we can safely go about this has just been another component that seemed to keep shifting over the months. I think even this last week, King County's on pause again for the next couple of weeks to see if we're staying in this phase or moving backwards. So there have been a lot of moving parts for it.
And what about Meeker, right? Because that's a
Sure.
challenge, which is to say, hey, if the schools are closed, then there's no way we can go back.
Right. Yeah, we
What
don't
is
even
the
have
program?
the option of the place where we were for 17 years, and so that may open up again. I'm doubtful at this point that the schools are going to be ready by the fall, but that means really thinking through a lot of sort of big philosophical questions as well, because if we've moved out of our neighborhood where that's been our home for so long, and we're moving across town and now we're over in Federal Way, then that's a shift in ministry focus as well. It's not just a shift in location. So there's just a lot of factors, and some of which we haven't actually been able to fully decide yet because so many things are still in flux.
Sure. So I know that, that the question facing everybody right now in their jobs, in their families, in schools, sports, activities, all that kind of stuff is that, hey, let's get back to normal. But I don't think we're ever going to go back to the old normal, right? We're going to establish a new normal. So, what kind of work is New Day starting to think about of what life looks like going forward?
I think that's really the key is being able to let go some of what we thought was how it ought to be or always will be, and to embrace some of the new realities that we're dealing with. Already pre-pandemic, we were seeing across the board in churches in America a decline in Sunday morning attendance, and the pandemic just accelerated that, where people are now. I don't think our online presence will ever go away. Now, we will always have a video component that will be part of the way we operate. And so there's that piece. I think really just looking at how we restructure to reflect where we're really at, how we begin to engage with people who are not who are in the community, who aren't really seeking out church for answers. How do you offer hope to a world that is becoming more and more hostile toward the gospel? I was really pleased when I was talking with Nancy Zellerhoff, who's one of the people who's going to be coming on the board, and I was laying out some of the challenges to her, and her response was, well, I think this is exciting. And I really do think that's a mindset, an adventure mindset we can have towards moving forward. New Day is uniquely poised because so much has been stripped away from us in terms of our location and everything. We have a blank slate where we can really decide what it is we want to look like moving forward, and we can leave behind some of the things that weren't working and really see it as an opportunity. So I'm excited about that, and it's just a lot of work.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that work. Last question. What should people be doing, or what could people be doing to support New Day as we're moving forward?
That's an excellent question too, because we really do need people's engagement right now. I think the first thing, really would appreciate your prayers. It feels like we are just needing all kinds of wisdom right now. So prayer for the board and the staff as we wrestle with really, really big questions. That sounds small, but really it's hugely important, and we really do appreciate prayer for that. Second thing I would say is show up for the things that we are doing, whether it's online or in person. I know when we did our survey, a lot of people said they were either waiting for vaccines or waiting for there not to be a mask mandate anymore, or different reasons for not engaging. And I totally understand people's concerns around safety. But if it's just a matter of, well, that's not my preferred format, and I'd like to wait until we're back to, large, big church, normal looking church. I would say what will help us get there is if you participate in the things we're doing now, because
Right.
one of the ways we're measuring our readiness is by seeing the demand for larger space and things like that. And as we are in this team building phase, each Sunday that we're at the hub, we are engaged in conversation that we are really seeking to wrestle with things together. And so seeing who's actually on board, not just waiting till we're back, but actually saying, yeah, you can count on me to be part of this process, and I want to be in on it. That would be great. Just show up for the prayer meetings, show up for the services, and then that's an encouragement to the other people who are there, and it helps us really gauge our readiness.
Awesome. Yeah, of course. That makes perfect sense. Well, I know it's been kind of a year of adaptation, right? Everybody's had to adapt. I'm coming to you from my garage at the dining room table, which don't ask why my dining room table's in the garage, but different story. But, thank you for adapting for us. And, the online video messages have become the new normal for now. And it's really remarkable to see how you've adapted to that. And so thank you to you for your efforts, and to the rest of the staff, and quite frankly, to all the people of New Day who continue to stay plugged in, though we might not be physically present with each other, we certainly are connected, right? And so,
yes,
awesome.
Yes, and that was one other thing that I was going to say as far as how people can help right now is just to stay connected with other people.
Sure.
Within New Day, reach out. You think of somebody, give them a call, shoot them a text, just to help that network stay strong and healthy. I think it's organically by everybody just staying connected as much as possible.
Absolutely. Well, hey, thank you so much for all you do. And New Day, it's great to see you guys. I can't wait to continue this journey together.
Thanks, Trent. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Bye.